Assalamu alaikum and welcome to An Nur the Light. Shakira Chauhan of the Johannesburg Development Agency is an architect whose main aim is to design functional and sustainable buildings to assist communities who need it most. We spent the day with her to see exactly how she does this.
Inspired by the urban scale and the social context within which she works, Shakira Chauhan is a professional architect, making her mark as a development manager for the Johannesburg Development Agency.
I don't think I always wanted to be an architect. My mum actually guided me towards architecture when she realized that I have a love for the creative field and critical thinking as well. I only think I found my match in the field after my first degree. When I was able to work under a great mentor, he exposed me to sort of larger urban design, urban scale projects, and that's when I really realized how I wanted to be absorbed into the field. I love that I get to play a part, a transformative part in space making for people. My interest particularly with the way I design is for it to be responsive design and for social architecture. That's what I'm most passionate about. So I believe that architecture needs to expand on the patterns of a space. It needs to expand on the stories of a place and reflect those.
For Shakira, a typical day involves management of construction projects, engagement with communities, and bringing awareness to the new and exciting projects around Johannesburg.
The Johannesburg Development Agency is a City of Johannesburg entity. We're an area-based development agency. So when the city identifies capital projects, the JDA implements those projects on behalf of the City of Johannesburg. Our particular focus for my portfolio is priority areas, so we look at marginalized areas like Soweto, Alex, and other sort of township areas. We also do specific developments for health departments and social development. I decided to join the Johannesburg Development Agency and to move into a development manager role because I'm really excited by cities, especially South African cities, and I'm really inspired around how to make our city work better. So I believe that design is a really important part of city making, and I believe the way we go about that design needs to be further advanced in terms of bringing citizen and city planning together. I started off the job really with a specific vision, and that was to enhance our cities, to make sure that people have ownership in the cities and they feel a part of whatever we implement. It hasn't been that easy. I think it's difficult to work in a policy-driven context, but we're getting there, and I'm committed to seeing that change in our city.
Currently, Shakira is working on a new project in Noordgesig, Johannesburg, engaging with the community on the design and execution of a precinct plan, facilitating co-production of design that brings city and citizen planning together.
The Noordgesig Clinic is situated in Noordgesig, which is just north of Orlando East. It was identified by the City of Johannesburg Health Department as an important project as it falls within the corridor. The corridor that it lies in is the Empire Perth corridor. So there was a need for us to redevelop the clinic, to demolish the existing clinic and build a bigger, larger facility to deal with the increasing demands. It's an interesting project because the accommodation of the clinic has sort of set a new template for COJ Health to use. And we're also employing a lot of green strategies, a lot of innovation within the clinic that will be a precedent and an example for clinics going forward.
Shakira's career in architecture is one that has developed her love for people and for giving back to her community. Her focus on design principles has been used to contribute to structures that will sustain communities at a low cost with maximum benefits. She certainly has a passion for design that matters.
I think one of the things that I enjoyed about working with Shakira the most was perhaps that the passion that she has for design, firstly, but also infused, it's not kind of high design, it's about relevance within South African society and a strong commitment to social justice and design as a means of making the lives of ordinary people better. And I think maybe that has inspired her move to Johannesburg Development Agency.
A lot of my social interests also come into play with the way we engage with the local SMMEs and the local labourers. We've extended the way we engage. We sit down, we workshop things, we work through the program quite extensively and just make sure that everyone leaves this project empowered and with additional skills. I think what makes me most passionate about projects like these is the difference that it makes to the community. That whole idea of any building or any development being an extension of the social environment comes into play here. This clinic was really small. Previously, it was not capacitated to deliver healthcare to the community of Noordgesig. And with this development, we'll see healthcare being provided at an excellent level to people who really need it without having to travel too far.
A philosophy Shakira is most passionate about is the idea that design and construct must be a reflection of the social environment within which it is immersed.
As Muslims, it is our duty to seek knowledge, and we value all the questions sent to us by our loyal viewers. Maulana Zakaria Philander is up next to answer some of your questions.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Maulana Zakaria Philander. You're watching Q&A on An Nur the Light. Our first viewer would like to know, do humans have any influence on their time of death, or is it all predestined? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had advised that two things have been preordained. The sustenance that you will receive is preordained, as well as the time of your death. That has also been preordained. This is further bolstered in the Quran, where God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, says that أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِكُّمُ الْمَوْتِ, that wherever you find yourself, death will reach you. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ, even if you fortify yourself in a castle. Subhanallah, we find that the time of death will never be delayed. In fact, the Quran also says, إِنَّ أَجَلَ اللَّهِ إِذَا جَاءَ لَا يُؤَخَّرُ. Verily, when the appointed time comes for an individual, it will not be delayed for a single moment. This does not mean that Muslims are fatalists. We act according to how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created us, in keeping with the amana, in keeping with the trust of looking after ourselves, living a healthy lifestyle, and living a good, healthy life. Our next question comes from Facebook and asks, a guy wants to get to know me through mut'ah. What do I do? What does mut'ah mean? Mut'ah basically means nikahul mu'aqqat, or a marriage that is arranged only for a specific period of time, after which the couple then separates. Such a marriage is not allowed in Islam. It is not allowed to make any type of rule in the contract or any type of stipulation in the marital contract that it will only last for a specific period of time. Such a contract will be considered null and void. Our final question was emailed in, and this person asks, can I be a Muslim godmother to a non-Muslim child? Firstly, the term godmother or godfather is generally a Eurocentric term that denotes when a person appoints another person to look in the interest of one's child or one's ward. There is absolutely nothing in Islam that prevents a person from appointing another individual to look in the interest of one's child or anyone that one is responsible for. Whether the person that you are asked to be looking after is Muslim or non-Muslim is absolutely irrelevant, as long as you're looking in the best interest of that individual and as a source of tarbiyah, as a source of nurturing, and as a source of caring. That brings us to the end of this Q&A. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
As SABC's only Islamic magazine show, we have made it our duty to document the history of Muslims in South Africa. This week we travel to the town of Ladysmith in KwaZulu-Natal to see how the Muslim community established themselves there.
The town of Ladysmith lies approximately halfway between Johannesburg and Durban. It is named after Cape Governor Harry Smith's wife and was founded in 1850. 35 years later saw the arrival of the first Muslims, who came here mostly as traders. With the discovery of diamonds in Kimberley and the gold rush in Johannesburg, Ladysmith businesses boomed as hundreds of wagons passed through the town en route to the mines.
Records indicate that the Muslims arrived in Ladysmith in the late 1880s, predominantly merchant class. Since then, the population has grown, and today we are approximately 10,000 Muslims in Ladysmith, out of a population of about 50,000, metropolitan population. The Muslim community is made up of predominantly Indian descendants, and in the last decade, many from the African continent as well.
The Muslims, to the best of my knowledge, came to Ladysmith many years ago, and you will find certain building structures which will indicate 1900 and X, which gives us an indication that maybe our forefathers came here many years ago. They came as traders. Primarily, they were business people, and they interacted into the business venture.
Hazrat Sufi Sahib was sent to South Africa in 1895, establishing 13 mosques and 36 primary schools throughout the country. At the end of the 19th century, he established a wooden iron mosque in Ladysmith, and today, on the original site, stands the magnificent Sufi mosque. Built without specific plans, it has become an architectural masterpiece.
The central masjid was the first masjid in town. We know that the business traders would go for the 5 salah, and they would go for Eid Salah, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha also. But as the Muslim community grew and expanded, we had, alhamdulillah, this masjid, the Hazrat Sufi Sahib Masjid. Until today, we have got the 5 salah also in town, weather permitting. If it is a requirement, then we have Eid Salah also there. Otherwise, we have the Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha Salah on the Sufi Masjid ground, which accommodates 1,000 plus.
In the early days, the Muslim community would have to cross a river to get to the Sufi mosque each day for prayers. This meant a strenuous journey from the older folk, and soon Muslim businesses in the area built a footbridge connecting the residential area to the mosque.
The Sufi Masjid, there was no bridge in those days. You had to cross over from this area, which is the town, and go over to the Sufi Masjid, where Hazrat Sufi Sahib Rahmatullah Alayh had established the Sufi Masjid. I remember my family had created a walk bridge with big type of drums, and the community used to walk over this bridge, a footbridge rather, and go to pray to the masjid.
This sacrifice of them to walk through the river and come to the masjid was a great sacrifice on their part until the bridge was established. So we want to place on the record that the Muslims, by and large, before the bridge was established, went through a lot of trials and tribulations to come to the masjid to perform their salah.
Many of the families who were the first Muslims to arrive here have remained and continue to contribute to the development of Ladysmith. As they grew, so did the number of mosques and educational institutions.
The Ladysmith Dawah Center had come 14 years back, where we found in this area of the Leonardsville in Ladysmith had no institution whereby the community could go and pray and have a center where they could come and engage with the ulama, with the Maulanas, with regards to all the issues that may be troubling them. So the Ladysmith Dawah Center was born out of a concept of 3 sisters who came to us many years ago and said, please, can you start a program here, a center where we can come out and engage with the ulama regarding our issues. And that is where the Ladysmith Dawah Center concept came about.
Important part of the growth of any community is a sense of belonging. In Ladysmith in particular, and despite it being a home to a variety of people, we have Hindus, we had Muslims, we had the white people, and the colored community. But this community grew incrementally because of the ability to draw people together, to worship together, but most importantly, creating this brotherhood of unity and purpose.
As the elders leave their footprint in Ladysmith, the younger generation has a responsibility to keep their contribution alive. As the light of Islam continues to shine here, it guides the way for many passers-by who wish to refresh their souls.
It's time for our travel segment, and this week we're back in KwaZulu-Natal to showcase this province's hidden gems.
One of Durban's best pastimes has got to be fishing, and there are many places to cast a line. Sit back and wait for the fish to bite. Boat-based fishing, however, remains a key favorite, and Durban Harbour has quite a few operators.
Game fishing we launch at, I would say, 5 a.m. and we do a trip off Durban up to Belito side, and we pull lures and try and catch different species. Dorados, tunas, marlin if we're lucky, sailfish and barracuda, and we've been quite successful in all our trips.
A typical charter sets off from the harbour, passing giant oil tankers, container ships and car transporters as it makes its way to the fishing grounds. Anchor can also be dropped right in the harbour, and patience will soon be rewarded.
Get on the boat, we try to leave on time and head out there. Then we put the lures out and wait for the reels to scream. It's a good sport, it's exciting as well, it's a challenge every day, different species, no two days are the same, and it's a very good experience. All you need is a fishing permit, obtainable from any post office. Yeah, and that's it, just bring your cooler box with refreshments and snacks, and we'll sort the rest out.
Durban is well known as South Africa's water mecca with its subtropical climate and many holiday attractions, and the fishing cruise is a great way to spend the day. As far as food goes, Durban leads the pack with trendy venues and menus. Take the chocolate and cheesecake bar and its oh so delicious cakes and desserts that are bound to lift even the foulest mood.
The Chocolate and Cheesecake Bar was opened in mid-December of 2015, so it's about 3 months old, and it is an intimate secret hideout in Durban. Well, so says everyone. You can indulge in various items. It's a very short menu, but there are signature items that we offer. So you're going to get the Drakensberg pure honey baked cheesecake. You're going to get signature Belgium hot chocolate brownies with ice cream, all made out of raw honey, as well as signature iced coffees and a variety of cheesecakes. Well, the title speaks for itself. So it's everything chocolate and cheesecake.
In only a few short months, this little place has garnered quite the reputation amongst the hip and happening crowd who flock here for their daily fix. The decor perfectly complements the food on offer with a light fixture made especially to Adila's specifications.
It is very private and intimate, so it's not in your local shopping mall or in a very busy center in Durban, for that matter. So it's very private and intimate for those that wish to get away from the norm. It's fully halal, so it's very friendly for families, and it caters for different types of people. And it's just wanting to do something totally different in Durban and hoping that it goes well.
Only the freshest ingredients are used, and their honey-baked cheesecake has become the talk of the town. The combination of chocolate and cheesecake is bound to have you coming back for more, time and time again. There can be no denying it's a delicious spot that has hit the mark in terms of its unique product and service. Belito on Durban's north coast is a small town that's better known as a sought-after holiday destination. With its golden brown beach sands and warm Indian Ocean, as well as surf-friendly waves, the area is a playground for all kinds of water sports. The area started as a small development but has grown into one of KwaZulu-Natal's busiest beach and holiday destinations. Accommodation is not only plentiful, but value for money too, and there's something for everyone.
We'd love for you to send us some of your favorite destinations so that more of us can experience the wonders South Africa has to offer. Sadly, our time together has come to an end. but we will be back next week, same time. In the meanwhile, you can also catch us on YouTube, so please share this with your family and friends. From me, Mara Mukwanda, Salang Hantle, Assalamu alaikum.
Dari dulu hingga kini tak berubah, ku terlena keranamu. Walau apapun terjadi, aku setia menyayangi diri kamu, kan berada di hatiku. Kau insan teristimewa, dulu kini selamanya. Ku terimakan dirimu, oh sayangku. Ku harap kau pun begitu, sama-sama mencintai. Oh indahnya cinta ini bersamamu. Terimalah diriku seadanya, sederhana. Ku berserah kepadamu, ya ilahi.